Hey friends, I'm back with another slow burn for November. I'm a little late, but I finally watched the 2021 crime thriller Karen, and it had me mad and confused and yelling at the screen. It is one of those movies that just shows how far ignorance and entitlement can go. And let me tell you, it's a lot of delusion associated with the two of those. Like, it's real. I'm all for living in a fantasy, but when your fantasy is detrimental to others, you better find you something else to play with. So this story follows Malik and Amani, a black couple who move into a seemingly quiet, upscale neighborhood, only to be targeted by their neighbor, Karen. Yes, her actual name is Karen, and yes, she lives up to every stereotype. Karen is obsessed with control, superiority, and keeping her neighborhood, quote unquote, safe, which in her mind means harassing her new neighbor. It starts with microaggressions and escalates into full-blown sabotage and violence. Now, let me be clear. The villains are obvious. Karen is the problem, but the person who frustrated me the most, Imani, she was not a unified front with her husband Malik at all. She wanted to be a voice for the black community, but when it came to advocating for herself or standing by her man, she fell short. It was given performative allyship in her own marriage. And there's a line in the movie that stuck with me. Racism is this country's oldest sin. And honestly, that's facts. The film tries to tie the historical thread from the founding of this country to the present day. And while it's a little heavy-handed, and you can tell that they're trying, it's not wrong. They literally came across the water to avoid persecution, just to come over here and have persecution, discrimination, and racism be so prevalent hundreds of years later. Now, let's talk about the execution of the movie. The low Rotten Tomato score, I get it. The evil Karen trope is tired. It's been done. It's right on par with ghetto fatigue for me, and this movie doesn't bring much new to the table. But what it does do is hold up a mirror to the kind of entitlement that still exists and how dangerous it can be when it's backed by power, privilege, and a badge. Karen is frustrating, messy, and at times painfully on the nose. But it's also a reminder that some people's fantasies come at the expense of others' safety. Watch it with a grain of salt. Keep your own experiences in mind, and if nothing else, let it spark a conversation, because the delusion is still out here. And honestly, now that I'm reviewing this movie, I'm really thinking like, this movie reminds me of The Perfect Neighbor. That's how those kind of situations come about. People really had their own personal experiences. I don't know that lady's backstory, but whatever happened to her, she feels like she needs to take it out on her neighbors where she's at, like, and now the neighbors' children. She's the perpetual victim in the situation, and that's kind of what Karen was doing. They had a situation with black people in her younger days, so now her and her brother are like severely scarred, even though the situation really wasn't that detrimental. They were just children, and children don't always understand what's happening or why things are happening, so they kind of internalize it and make things bigger than what they are, which is also why it's so important to talk to your children about things and make sure that they understand, because childhood really warps people's adulthood when their childhood is like accompanied by the wrong images or the wrong mindset. So that's pretty important. But let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all want to talk about next. And yeah, that's it. Bye, friends.